Here's the thing about Tampa. Everybody's got an opinion, but most of them are stuck way back in 2010. People still picture this place like it's a college spring break gone wrong, and they love to mention the house they could have bought for $180,000 back in the day. But what really cracks me up is the way people talk about Tampa like it's some discount version of Miami. Like, oh, isn't that the place with humidity, chain restaurants, and retirees and golf carts? Yeah, thanks, Karen, but you're about 15 years late. Here's the reality. Tampa's not some sidekick city, it's the plot twist. While everyone was busy making Florida man jokes, this place quietly turned into a tech hub, stacked up Michelin restaurants, and built neighborhoods people actually fight to get into. So let's go ahead and clear the air. Today, we're busting the wildest misconceptions about Tampa, and by the end, you'll either admit you've been sleeping on this city, or you're gonna go ahead and keep calling it boring while the rest of us enjoy the boat parties and billion-dollar skyline upgrades. Now that we've tossed those tired stereotypes into the trash where they belong, let's talk about the Tampa that actually exists in 2025, because here's the thing, this city isn't some background character in Florida's story anymore. Tampa's the headline, the main event, the plot twist nobody saw coming. The growth, it's off the charts. The culture, loud and proud, and the energy, let's just say it feels like a laid-back beach town and more like a city that just realized it's in the big leagues. And the best part, half the misconceptions people still throw around are laughably outdated. So let's kick this off with one that always gets me shaking my head. There's nothing to do in Tampa. It's boring. It's just strip malls and the same old basic places to go. Yeah, okay. Tell that to the thousands of people shoulder to shoulder on Bayshore during Gasparilla, or the crowd packed into Armature Works on a random Tuesday night acting like it's a Saturday. But yet I hear this, and more than you would think in the comments, this idea that Tampa's vanilla is just lazy. The Riverwalk alone has more going on than most cities twice our size, festivals, concerts, food trucks, and about 5 different spots where you can grab a drink with skyline views. And that's not even touching Sparkman's Wharf, Water Street, or Hyde Park Village, where half the city seems to magically appear every single weekend. And if sports, if they're your thing, welcome to Tampa Bay. 3 major league teams, a USL team, a brand new women's pro soccer team, and more watch parties than you'll ever need an excuse for. So boring? Nah. The real problem here is figuring out what to skip, because there's too much happening. People move here thinking every weekend we'll be boating or beaching, but not really, because the calendar is always stacked. And hey, if you're watching this right now thinking Tampa might actually be your next stop, my team and I help people buy, sell, and relocate here every single day. So if making a move to Tampa or finding a new home in Tampa is in your cards, reach out. We'd love to help you find the best home and neighborhood for your lifestyle. We want to be your Tampa real estate team of choice. Now, here's another myth that belongs in a retirement home. Tampa's just bartenders, hotels, and theme park jobs. That version of Tampa tapped out years ago. The real Tampa story. This city flipped the script. Over the last 5 years, IT jobs alone jumped 30%, and by 2027, we're on track to add nearly 4,000 more. Cybersecurity is leading the charge. ReliaQuest downtown, KnowBe4th over in Clearwater, and accelerators like Embark Collective and Tampa Bay Wave pumping out hundreds of startups. Tech salaries here easily crack 6 figures, and that's not exactly bartender money. Healthcare, it's become a juggernaut. Tampa General Hospital, Moffitt Cancer Center, Baycare, together, they've added nearly 15,000 jobs just last year. And it's not just patient care anymore. Biotech, medtech, research labs, and partnerships with USF Health are pulling in talent from all across the country. Finance is booming too. Citi, JP Morgan Chase, MetLife, they're all here, plus fintech startups reshaping how money moves. And then there's construction. Just look around. Water Street, Midtown, countless new communities in Wesley Chapel, Riverview, and beyond. Builders can't keep up. That means steady paychecks for electricians, plumbers, framers, you name it. I hear it all the time. What if you aren't in medical or finance? I can't tell you how many painters, landscapers, even handymen barely have enough time to make it to the bank. Just like anything, the good ones in their trade will never have to worry. And for the last decade, I can tell you, they have been swamped with business. Honestly, if you know how to keep an AC running in August, you are reliable and you have decent communication, you're basically more popular than Tom Brady at the boat parade back in the day. And let's forget logistics either. Port Tampa Bay and Tampa International Airport are expanding like crazy, fueling jobs in shipping, supply chain, and even medical device manufacturing. And anchoring it all, MacDill Air Force Base, one of the strongest defense presences in the entire Southeast. So yeah, Hospitality still matters here, but it's no longer the main act. The new Tampa economy, it's diverse, it's higher paying, and it's built to last. And with all that growth, it makes sense that the next misconception people love to argue about is whether anyone can actually afford to live here. Now, this is where Tampa gets a bad rap. The common line is, nobody can afford to live here anymore. And look, I get it. If you've been house hunting lately, you've seen the sticker shock. A median home price floating around $420,000 to $450,000 feels like a gut punch when people love to remind you that they bought that $180,000 house back in 2010. But here's the reality. It's not all doom and gloom. Incomes here have climbed some since 2019. I'll bet not as much as we would have liked, and Tampa is still more affordable than a lot of other cities our size. We're talking Atlanta, Charlotte, even Austin. Our cost of living comes in lower, and that's before you factor in Florida's no state income tax. Now, let's be real. Some folks are thriving, dual income families in new builds across the burbs, young professionals paying premium rents in Water Street or the Channel District, and skilled tradespeople, plumbers, electricians, contractors, they're busier than ever, but not everyone's winning. Teachers, service workers, young families just starting out, Tampa's old timers, they're feeling the squeeze, and that's why you've got to look at the options people often skip over. Everyone wants the shiny, perfect turnkey home, but fixer-uppers are the name of the game in Tampa because many of our homes are older, and if you're willing to just roll up those sleeves, you can build equity just like everyone's always done in the past. And here's the weirdest twist right now. In most cases, brand new construction in the suburbs like Wesley Chapel all the way down to Parrish can actually be cheaper than a 30-year-old resale in North Tampa. Builders are throwing in incentives, rate buydowns, and upgrades just to move inventory. It's a rare window right now where new can beat old, and for many, that also keeps maintenance costs down for the first handful of years. It's true. Tampa isn't unaffordable across the boards, it's nuanced. For some, it's a grind. For others, it's opportunity hiding in plain sight. The trick is knowing where to look and being open to what a few of the others overlook. People love to paint Tampa as two extremes. Retirees with leather, sun-baked skin walking the beaches, or college kids slamming beers in Ybor and Soho. Like, those are the only two life stages available here, but they miss the mark on what is in plain sight, the truth. Tampa's family scene is strong. The entire family can enjoy Armature Works, one of our newer public venues. Kids burning energy at Julian B. Lane Park or Carrollwood Village Park up in North Tampa, or how about over at Sparkman Wharf? Loaded every weekend. And yes, sometimes those same parents are at Lightning games with the little ones later that night because that's what Tampa life is. My family, we take our kids everywhere, from the Tampa Zoo to the beaches to cruising the Riverwalk in the evenings. It is as family friendly as it gets. And here's a stat that shuts this myth down fast. The median age in Tampa is 36. That's younger than the national average, so no, it's not all shuffleboard and frat houses, and the family's fun, a lot of it's free. Concerts at Curtis Hickson Park, Riverwalk festivals, outdoor movies, beaches under an hour away. It's not retirees versus party kids, it's families, young professionals, and neighbors building real communities here. But don't just take my word for it. Any of you locals that are watching right now, let me know in the comments if you agree with Tampa being a family-friendly city, and if it's a yes, what is your favorite experience with the entire family? Now let's tackle the weather, because apparently Tampa is either unlivable hot or underwater from hurricanes 24/7, and now there's gators walking the streets. Look, yes, summer's here, we'll test your deodorant, but locals adapt. We do yard work before 10 a.m., pool by noon, and by evening, you're watching a Gulf sunset. That makes the heat all worth it. And how about them hurricanes? They're real, we don't joke about them, but Tampa actually dodges direct hits more often than people realize. Plus, this city's pouring money into stronger infrastructure and flood planning. Here's the trade-off. While folks up north are shoveling snow in January, we're out on the boat, we're playing pickleball or brunching on a rooftop patio in 75 degrees. No question, it's hot in summer, but that's only 3 to 4 months of the year. I personally love fall to late spring in Tampa. It's warmish days and cool breeze evenings, and don't forget the sun is out most of the time, so we're not having those depression or dreary days or just being stuck indoors seasonally. Now, the wildest misconception I've heard recently was that Tampa has no culture. Well, I say clearly, they haven't stepped foot outside the airport. This city bleeds culture. It's not just always the polished theme park version outsiders expect. Tampa's roots are Cuban, Spanish, and Italian, and you can still feel that every day. Walk down 7th Avenue in Ybor and you'll catch the smell of hand-rolled cigars, and over in West Tampa, you'll find mom and pop spots serving café con leche and the same dishes their families brought here generations ago. Hit up Fiesta Day or experience Gasparilla season and you'll see the mashup of old traditions and new energy that makes this city so different. And it's not just the food and the festivals. The art scene here is growing with grit. The Tampa Museum of Art is in the middle of a massive expansion. The Strass Center brings Broadway straight to the Riverwalk, and local artists are covering walls in Seminole Heights, Ybor, and even parking garages downtown with murals that actually tell Tampa stories. This city's culture, it isn't hiding, it's loud, it's messy, it's flavorful, and it's proud. It's Cuban sandwiches and Gasparilla beads, but it's also jazz nights, Sunday markets, and backyard domino games. That's Tampa's soul. And here's one you may or may not have heard. Tampa's sketchy. It's not safe. And yeah, I'll say it. Tampa's not Disney World. It's a real city with real neighborhoods. And like any metro, some spot will have rough edges, but painting the whole city with that brush, that's half-baked. Tampa's a patchwork. Ybor at 2 a.m. might feel rowdy, but on a Saturday morning, you've got families walking the farmer's market and you can mingle with the old timers having a cigar and telling the old Tampa stories. Seminole Heights used to have a reputation. Now it's coffee shops, craft breweries, and some of the best local restaurants that you could walk to block over block. And over in West Chase or Carrollwood, families let their kids ride bikes even after the streetlights come on. And neighborhoods like Hyde Park or Davis Island, well, those are some of the most desirable and safest places to live in the whole state. I've said this many times on my channel, but I take my kids to the Riverwalk often on weekends, and my wife and I love walking hand in hand in Water Street and downtown Tampa. And I'm talking 11, 12 o'clock at night, and plenty of people are just out still enjoying the city. The truth is, Tampa's growth has brought investment, more community events, and more eyes on the street, which makes neighborhoods safer. Are there places to be smart about? Well, sure, but unsafe? That's not the full Tampa story. The real Tampa is neighbors looking out for each other, kids on Little League fields, and a city that feels more connected every year. Now, you might have seen this one on many headlines. Tampa Bay cracks the top 20 lists of cities people are leaving. Well, that's one from Pods, but hold up, this doesn't mean Tampa is emptying out. What's actually happening is subtle slowdown, not mass exodus. The real story, Tampa Bay's still growing and fast. Since 2020, over 270,000 people have relocated to our metro from other states or even other countries. That's a population bump of roughly 3.1 million to more than 3.4 million, a solid 7% increase in just 5 years. Yes, net migration slowed to about 10,500 new arrivals in 2024, a 30% drop from 2023, but drop is not decline. That incoming flow, it's still here. The cranes in Water Street, the new subdivisions popping up in Wesley Chapel and surrounding suburbs, and the traffic on I-275 during rush hour, well, that's growth, not retreat. Bottom line, Tampa's not losing people, it's still attracting them, and honestly, that's a much better problem to have than the alternative. Now let's go ahead and hit a quick lightning round of Tampa myths that just need to be put to rest. First up, locals don't want new people moving here. Well, that's not true. We're a welcoming city, but here's the catch. Don't bring the stuff you're trying to escape. The sky-high taxes, the different fast-paced beliefs, the attitude. The saying down here is simple. Don't New York my Tampa. Bring yourself, leave the baggage. This is Tampa, don't try to change that. Next, we're gonna go ahead with downtown is dead after 5 p.m. and Tampa has no walkability. Yeah, maybe that was true a decade ago, but now the Riverwalk is packed every night. Water Street is buzzing and you can actually park the car and just wander, grab a cocktail at Sparkman Wharf, catch a show at the Strass, then wrap it up with a skyline view on the Hillsborough River. Dead? Please. Downtown's more awake than it's ever been, and it's got more layers coming. And here's another good one. Tampa is just retirees and gators. Sure, you'll spot a golf cart in Sun City and maybe a gator in a retention pond, but let's be real. As I mentioned earlier, the median age here is 36. That's younger than the national average, and the real wildlife, well, that's Gasparilla when pirates take over Bayshore and beads fly around like it's Mardi Gras. And finally, Tampa has no secret sauce. That's the biggest myth of them all. The sauce is the daily rhythm here. It's in the hole-in-the-wall cafes and it's in our traditions. Yes, Tampa has many new things, but we haven't lost the fabric of old Tampa. It's still right there in plain sight. That's the Tampa magic. It's not just one thing, it's all of it together. So yeah, the myths, they're funny, but let's be real, they're not all accurate. So there it is, Tampa's biggest misconceptions, crushed. This city isn't boring, it's not just bartenders and retirees, and it's definitely not losing its spark. Tampa's growing, it's evolving, and it's leveling up in ways a lot of people outside the 813 have no clue about. Now, here's the deal. If you're serious about making Tampa your home, don't just wing it. Where you live here makes all the difference. My team and I are boots on the ground here every single day helping people buy, sell, and relocate all over the Tampa Bay area, and we love to do the same for you. So whether you're looking for a family-friendly suburb, an urban high-rise downtown, or even just a new construction in one of the booming communities, we've got you covered. All our info is linked below, and when you're ready, reach out. Let's make your Tampa move happen. And hey, if you're not done exploring yet, don't click away. Check out this playlist right here. It's packed with deep dives into Tampa neighborhoods and new developments, so you can really see which part of the city matches your vibe. Trust me, you'll want to watch those next. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Woo!